Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna just be talking about what I've been dealing with, with the whole um week that I wasn't, or really like 9 days, I think, that I didn't post, and just like the walk with Christ and things that I feel like don't really get talked about in the church enough, or just talked about in general. But yeah, so for like a week or probably like a little more than a week. For me, yesterday was my mom's 1 year I guess you call it anniversary, I don't know. 1 year of her death. And so I guess like also the fact that TMI for your guy, I guess the fact that my time a month didn't come on in like 5 days or so also contributed to it. Feeling like just down and all these things. And um yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what God wants me to do. So I was watching a TikTok video, and something this guy has said, dealing with what he's going through right now with his kids, and um trying to basically get them back, and he is their guardian, and the mother of the kids isn't really a good guardian, and just talking about how he'd been through a lot of different things, but his faith wasn't tested there. But now that his faith, but now that his kids are gone, and he doesn't know if he's gonna get them back, his faith is being tested. And he was saying how he was feeling like he couldn't really be vulnerable with God and talk to him about what he was dealing with, because he was thinking if he was vulnerable and open and transparent about, you know, putting his faith in the Lord and like, okay, I'll trust that you'll give me my kids back. And he was like, he felt like if he did that and that God didn't bring him his kids, that it would crush his faith. And so he was saying how he has avoidant attachment style. I have the same thing. But Lord willing, I won't have that anymore. So soon. Um, but yeah, so he was talking about that, and he said something else like um about how also if God didn't do it, that he would just blame himself and be like, oh well, it didn't happen because I didn't pray enough, I didn't fast enough, or I didn't do this enough. And he was equating it to like how he felt like he had to earn God's love in order for him to get what he wanted, which was his kid back, right? And I was like, man, I was really into a lot of stuff. And for me, it was like um, putting my trust in him in the aspect of like um, my mom, and trusting that he was just gonna, I guess, keep healing me and help me get through it. And also the fact of like her being gone, and also not having my best friend that was in my life 2 months later after she died, and we don't talk anymore. And then um just things like that. And then also, like I said before, older brother had passed 2 months after the best friend thing. And so I was like, okay, Satan was kind of making me feel like um make me feel like I was abandoned, I guess you would say. And like look what everybody else is doing. Everybody else is doing stuff, and everybody else is have relationships or whatever the case, whatever you don't have, type of thing. And he was like, look where you're at right now, and look where everybody else is at. And your mom not here, your best friend not here, etc. And look, where has it got you? Like, where has your faith got you? That type of thing. And yeah, it was weighing on me, And also just like, I guess, still adjusting to the fact that she isn't here and learning how to keep abiding in the Lord and not trying to abide in food. Like you say, abide in me, you'll have peace. Not abide in food, not abide in uh, TikTok or watching movies or something like that, but abide in Him instead of running from Him because it's like, oh, uh, no, all Satan do is lie, but it's up to you to believe it, right? And so it was like, mm, it was, I guess he like feed on stuff you already think. Like, if you already thinking something and he's been watching you, been watching your bloodline for since beginning of time, he's like, oh, I can tell what they're thinking. And then you start playing little seeds to doubt your mind and all this stuff. And then you might think it's your thoughts. But yeah, so that's what's happening. And like the guy I mentioned, he was saying how he had just ran away, stopped posting about specifically topics about the Lord, started talking more about attachment styles and things like that because he was afraid that God wouldn't come through for him, basically. And I was like, you know, that was very relatable. I felt that because it was like I like just feeling like somewhat. I guess you would say stagnant because like, Lord, you know what you want me to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with my life in regards to like ministry. And I do YouTube, but I'm like, do you want me to like serve in church? Do you want me to be a teacher? Do you want me to do this? I don't know. And I feel like he was answering me, and also feeling um, like why, like, like with my mom not being here, I was like, I feel like everybody else just like moved on already. Even my brothers, they're doing good, and I feel like everybody just like moved on. Nobody remembers, or nobody remember like, oh, this is a year since she passed. Nobody remembered literally. I was like the only one that remembered. Nobody texted me. Nobody did nothing. Um, and I was like, it seemed like everybody just move on with their life, and nobody think about it. They might think about it here and there, but it's like it just seemed like I'm the only one that's like stuck in the past or like still affected by it, I guess you would say. And I was like, why is this happening? And why this, why that? And I was just talking to him about all this stuff. And I was thinking about, like, well, I'm in Jeremiah again now. And he was talking about how, when he got captured and everything from when he was telling people what God was telling him to say, and how he was getting abused basically. And he said he wanted to stop talking about what God was telling him. He wanted to stop talking about him. But then he said, but his word was like a fire shut up in his bones. So then he kept talking about what God wanted him to say. And then after that, he said, I think it's like Jeremiah 21. After that, he was just talking about how he wished he wasn't born, and and he just wished he was dead, basically. And because of all the stuff that was happening to him, people persecuted him, smack him on the face, just treated him really bad. And I was like, seeing people in the Bible, I was like, man, mostly everybody got persecuted. Mostly everybody got killed. Even Jesus died for us, or got killed for us. And I was like, okay. So I know he said persecution. Everyone who serves him will serve persecution. And then I was thinking about the scripture, Jeremiah 29:11, where he was like, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, give you hope in the future. And I was like, equating it to Jeremiah and just everyone, disciples. And I was like, plans to prosper you, right? I was like, how did like Jeremiah prosper and not be harmed when he was stoned and thrown in the pit and all these things? And I was like, how did you know everybody, all the apostles that got persecuted, how did that prosper them and not harm them? And I was like, Lord, I know you're not a liar, but I was like, I don't feel like I'm prospering right now. And thinking about the apostles and people like that, I was like, what happened to them? That they got harmed and they didn't have an expected end. But then I was talking to my brother, and he was like, well, the plans are not just for earth, but they're for heaven, right? And he'll give you blessings while you're here, but the ultimate reward is in heaven. And so I was like, yeah, that's true. And also, trials are to help us just burn out whatever impurities are in us, whatever isn't like Christ in us, so we can be more like Him and more selfless. And he was showing me, God was showing me, I was talking to him about everything, and he was showing me like that I was being selfish and that, yeah, I hope this mic isn't, I hope my necklace isn't making sound on like, I was being selfish and like focusing on myself too much and on kind of like how Job was painting the picture as if God wasn't righteous and just and like saying like I'm righteous, I'm just, I did all these good things. Why are you allowing this to happen to me? And then he was showing me parallel to like how I was feeling, and I was like, okay. I was like, yeah. I was like, Lord, you know what you're doing, and you're just trying to help me and help me die more to myself and just not focus on what isn't happening that I want to happen, but just to have faith, whether the situation is the way I want it or not, but to have faith in whatever it is that you're doing. And like he said, he's the author and finisher of our faith. So I was like, okay. Because it was me wanting things to be what I think it should be, instead of like trusting that whatever God's gonna do is gonna be for my good and not like not I shouldn't feel that it is just gonna be like a waste of time type of thing. And comparing myself to other people around me, what they're doing, what they got going on. And so I was like, all right. I was like, you're right, Lord. And I have repented and stuff like that and told him that I was sorry because I was like having my temper tantrum, and then I was like in, I guess you say willing rebellion and watching movies that have like a few curse words in it that I shouldn't have been watching, but I was like having like temper tantrum of like, well, I've been, like serving God all this time. Look where it's got me, so I'm gonna just go watch this movie. And it was like, yeah, it's like Holy Spirit was like, those who know that it's sin, those who know what to do and they don't do it is sin. And I was like, yeah, you're right, but I'll still watch this movie. And I'm like, I'm really not really happy right now with you because like what's going on in my life? I don't know what's going on, and I'm tired of feeling like this. And I was like, I want you to take away like just the feelings and stuff about my just all the negative feelings, right? And it's like they still here. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, why this keep happening? Why it feel like I'll be doing good, but then I feel like I'm not. And then I'm like, I don't know how to be I was thinking like I don't know how to be a daughter, and I was like, I don't know how to view you as my father as well, because my father is in my life now, but he has his own healing he needs more of. So I'm like, okay, Lord. I'm like, I don't know what father in his definition is more like a circumspect father, circumspect mother, even. I was like, okay, I don't know what it's supposed to look like. And then it was just things like that that I was thinking about, talking to him about, and also that I was like, sometimes I feel like I'm doing like work based, but also feel like I'm just doing faith, following him faith wise, and love, and in love instead of work wise. I'm trying to work for his love or whatever, and work for the relationship first, and the relationship to be closer. And I was talking to him about that too, and I was like, sometimes I'm one side, sometimes I'm the other, sometimes I'm a little bit both. And I was like, well, that's how I was programmed to be because of my uh, upbringing. And I gotta prove myself and do this, do that. And if I didn't do this or that, then I'm in trouble. And then I wouldn't be shown quote unquote love. And so I'm like, Lord, what am I doing? I was like, what's going on? I'm literally so tired of stuff. And so I was talking to him about it all, and he helped me feel better. And he was just showing me, like, he helping me be more like Christ. He purging me of me and having me die more and more to myself and having Christ live through me, in me. So that way, his, will be glorified. And yeah, things of that nature. And my brother was telling me, like, he's preparing me for whatever he has for me, and he can't give me what he has if I'm not prepared for it. And so, also the trying of my faith worketh patience. And he was talking about how here's the what he said. Here's the faith of the saints. Oh no, here's patience of the saints. Um, and I forgot the rest of it. Here's the patience of the saints. Here's the something. But this is Revelation. I can't remember all of it. But he's basically just saying the sons and daughters of God are those who have the patience, you know, and just allow God to do what He wants to do in their lives. And despite whatever it is that they lost or whatever it is that they didn't get, and whatever they did get, um, it's just about being obedient, right? Despite how you're feeling and all these things, and like whatever Satan's trying to tell you. So yeah, that was my situation with the whole thing. Um, but I feel a lot better now. It helped me get through yesterday and helped me feel better. I cried like twice. Well, I cried a little bit yesterday. And then I cried the day before that, or maybe the day before that. But I also think it's because my cycle's gonna come on. So let's make my emotions even more like more annoyed, more sad, more irritable, more all that stuff versus just like chill, happy. So that was part of it too. But I feel a lot better. Just spend time with God, talk to Him, praying, and reading the Bible and things of that nature. And just watching encouraging videos helped me a lot. Just talk to my brother and stuff. So yeah, that's what what I was dealing with. But yeah, so hopefully you got some out of this video. I was all over the place for you, but yeah, just wanted to be transparent about stuff because nobody's perfect, and I'm not perfect. And I watched someone um who is, I guess you could say, pretty popular in the faith community. Um and I'll be thinking she has like perfect life and all this stuff, because I don't really hear her talk much about like her struggles in the walk with Christ. And so it made me be like, man, she doing so many different things. She got businesses. She have like over 100K followers on YouTube. Um, TikTok is a lot of it too. I can't really remember, but she been abstinent so long, and she's focused on God, what He wants her to do, and she um just doing so many things for Him, and seem like her life perfect, and like she just have it down packed, like how to follow God. And I was like, man, must be nice. And I was like, I want to be like that. But I don't know. I feel like maybe she just don't tell people her business, or maybe she just isn't being transparent about what she's doing. But I don't know. Sometimes she say a little something, something, but it's like, I feel like as leaders, you should tell people, like, I'm struggling with this, so don't think I'm perfect. I'm struggling with that, and I'll have an issue with this, and just let y'all know that I'm still humans like you, and trying to figure this out as well. Versus, it just, you have your conclusion from watching someone and not hearing those type of things makes you think like they must be living a perfect life. But I know everybody got something going on. But it's just good to hear people talk about it. So yeah, I hope the video helps you. And just, I would say advice, just like, don't allow yourself to stay in a dark, like, mindset or space, because it all is in your mind. Like, I was literally just laying on my bed, and I was like looking around me. I was like, all this stuff is just going on in my mind. Literally, nothing else is happening around me. And I was like, okay, well, we keep on, got buying stuff, cast down imaginations and things like that. Pray for strength. And also, I like the scripture where Paul was saying that when he's weak, he's strong, because the power of Christ rests upon him, and that he relishes in his weaknesses. And I was like, yeah, it helps you really see, like, man, I am undone, and then Christ come and help you and give you the strength, lift you up, and you're like, man, I feel a lot better. And you look back and you're like, man, I'll come through it. And so, just like, always run to Him, even if you might run away for a little bit, or you might have to be mad, might be annoyed with Him, might be frustrated with Him, but like, be honest about it, because I'm like, that's what I'm doing as well. Be honest about everything. I was more so like a little bit like afraid. I was like, I'll tell you what, do I actually come like mad or like upset or frustrated with you? It's like, he already know anyway. But it's like, I'll be picturing in my mind like super, super big God sitting on a throne, and just like sitting on the throne. And then I'm like down here, little puny little human. I'm like, hey, I'm frustrated with you. And then I guess I Satan paint that picture in my mind. He's just up there. He's like, hey, what you say to me? And he's like, little lightning come out of his hand, just go bam. Then now I'm going through a whole bunch of other stuff, because I was like honest about what I was feeling. It transparent for good. You like, don't tell me you're mad at me. You need to follow what I'm saying, and that's just that. It's like, nah, he ain't gonna sit up here and say that. because that'll make him like a dictator and tyrant. And he's loving, he's kind, understanding, slow to anger, merciful, abounding in love and everything like that. So I was like, okay. I was like, Lord, come straight with you right now. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing with my life right now. I don't know what's going on. And why does everybody else look like they got stuff going on? And then there's me, type of thing. And help him feel better. And he wants us to be vulnerable with him and have intimate relationship, which causes you to be transparent about all your emotions. You can't just be like, talk about these emotions, but not this one. And because that shuts you out from having a more close relationship with him because you're hiding, you know. Like Adam and Eve in the garden, and they were hiding because they had shame for what they did. And just how they were feeling. They don't want to keep it being, so they want to hid themselves, cover themselves, try to hide. And he's like, "Where are you?" But yes, so I guess I'm done for now. I'll be back sometime next week. It's Saturday today. I went to church, and yes, that's why I'm wearing this cute little attire. But yeah, so just just be honest with them, cry, vent, whatever you need to do, and just write down. You need to find scriptures. Like look on Google, like scriptures that are about faith, scriptures that help me when I feel whatever emotion you're feeling, and write them down. Like I have a journal, composition notebook of like scriptures I wrote down, and I wrote like what I think it means and what just my elaboration on it. And sometimes if I'm really low, I haven't been that way in a while. When I was really low, like when I'm on first pass, I was doing that a lot and reading them a lot, and they helped me a lot. So yeah, do something like that, and just always go back to the scriptures and get around good people who can help you not feel alone. And yeah, get outside too if you can. I know I ain't been coming outside, but and that don't help either. So yeah, I'm gonna get some sun, but I need to really stay in the house more. So, but yeah, so all right, I'm done talking now because I could keep talking. But yeah, I hope the video helps you though, and thank you for watching. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Take care.